Good morning, garden friends. On this beautiful, it's overcast, plus we also had a major rainfall. But that is not going to stop me from taking care of this back garden. A lot of stuff that is my early spring has bloomed that I want to get cut down and see if I can get another flush. And those would be my wallflowers, my bachelor buttons, and then also my snapdragons. I was looking down at the bottom and I'm seeing new shoots on it. So I figure that I will, my husband's being silly. Um, Figure I'm gonna cut those down and see if I can get another flush because I want to get a little order to this. Plus, I want to be able to plant some of the plants that I got from Creekside and Walter's garden when I was visiting Kim. So first I want to get everything cleaned out, trim back, then lay out the plants that I'm going to put back here because the pathway here that I have my pansies, they've done what they need to do, but I'm just gonna cut them back with the hope that next spring they'll pop up, seeing that they reseed themselves. But I have some, what did I get that I'm putting here? Um, the globes. Oh, I'll show you. You know what? That's my other bad habit, which I am going to do today. When I plant something, I am going to put a tag on it so that I remember what it is. But it's going to end up lining up the walkway here. So I'm going to get, like I said, get a lot of stuff cleaned up, cut back, and then start planting the items that I got from Walter's garden. So while I'm going to get my supplies, let me show you guys some of the things that I got from Walter's garden and Creekside. Okay, so let's just go over some of the plants that I did get from Creekside and Walter's garden that I'm going to be putting mainly as far as the walkway. So I'm thinking this is going to be on the main closest to the walkway, and this is lavender bubble ornamental onion. So this is what it'll end up looking like, and I think that'll be really nice. It's a perennial. And then let me give you some of the specs. It gets 12 to 14 inches high. They say space it 20 to 22 inches apart. I don't know if I'm gonna go that far. I don't think I got that much space, but I might because I'm gonna be adding another plant in there. It likes more than 4 hours of sun daily and zone 4 through 8, and it blooms late summer to early fall and actually goes really nicely with Russian sage, stone corp, and hyssop. Now, I have some, I don't have Russian sage in this bed. I actually have the denim and lace, but that's close in the same family. So I think this will end up looking really, really nicely. And then if I do end up spacing it that far, I think I want to weave in some of the bearded tongue, Penstemon. It's a hybrid and it's called Ruby Rock Candy. And then this is what it looks like. That'll look really nice with the purple and the pinks and the yellows that I already have in the garden. And the specs on this is blooms late spring through the summer, plant in full sun. I'm hoping the full sun means Georgia full sun because this is a full sun bed right here. Well-drained soil, which this is, and then it grows 8 to 12 inches tall, and this too, they say, 18 to 12 inches to space it. So I think the combination of the Penstemon and the ornamental onion is going to be really, really nicely. But before I get these guys planted, and the other thing, I'm not going to use my auger because where along the walkway, I do have bulbs in there. So I'm pretty much going to use the area where I have the pansies at. My determining factor of where I'm going to place these, just to make sure that I don't hit any of my bulbs. And then I'm going to use my little fork spade because this soil over here is really, really rich. But before I do that, we have been seeing a lot of snakes, little babies, in the garden area. And we actually came across I think it was a copperhead, or what's that other one? Yeah, I think it was a copperhead that we came across. Just a little baby, but he was a little snappy. I don't mind the brown snakes. I don't mind the black snakes, but the ones that are poisonous, I'm a little, iffy about. So before I actually do any digging, cutting back anything that needs to be cleaned up, I'm going to take my rake and go in the beds where I'm going to be moving, plants or cutting plants down, just to make sure that there are no poisonous snakes there. Hopefully they won't be. Like I said, the brown and the black snakes, I'm not worried about. It's those copperheads, and I forget the other one that is known to be down here. So let me go ahead and do that first, just based off a section that I'm going to work in. So fingers crossed that there are no snakes in here. Oh, I see a lot of potato bugs. I figure before I get down on my knees, I better check, because I probably won't be able to move as fast if I'm already on my knees. Now, there are some of these that look like they've receded, that are little. I'm just going to leave them there. Okay, so this area looks good for me to be able to go ahead and get the ornamental onions placed in here, like I said, to make it a lot easier. Like I said, the ideal is to line the walkway up with the ornamental onions, and then I'm gonna work in the Penstemon, maybe on the sort of like on the outskirts in a zigzag pattern. So let's go ahead and get this cleaned out, the big stuff, and then that way I can go ahead and get it laid out. And the good thing too is where I'm pulling these out, I know I don't have bulbs there. Oh yeah. I know it's time for me to pull these guys out because I got a lot of potato bugs in here, and they are the scavenger bugs, the good ones, because they normally only go after the stuff that's already dying, like the cleanup people. Is that side? So now I'm gonna go ahead and lay them out how I'm thinking about putting these guys in here. And I want to make sure that they're lined up nice and even though this side is a little bit longer than this. Let me step back and take a look at this. Okay, so I laid them out how I want them, but my snapdragon that was right there kept throwing me off. And I think what's throwing me off for me to feel good about how I have this placed, like my bachelor buttons, my Sprea over here, and also my wallflowers. I want to get those cleaned up because in that way I will have a true visual of the layout of this, and then also clean up my tick seeds because I think this is how I want to lay it out. But like I said, I just need to get this a little more in order, get the dead stuff clipped down, and then I will have a better visual because this is sort of blocking my vision of how I want this to lay out. So let me go ahead and get this dead stuff cut back, plants shaped up, and then I'll reposition the new plants to see if this is what I am looking for. All right, so it isn't just that the sun is beating down on you, it's also if it's extremely hot. While I was planting the items in the bed, my phone overheated and wasn't recording. But let me show you guys what I ended up doing. Like I said, the ornamental onions I have lined up here, and then I decided to take the salmon, and it's like a deep burgundy petunia, and line it up on both sides because I figure once the onions get done blooming with the purple flowers, that'll end up giving me some color back here. A couple other things I ended up doing was I cut down the snapdragon right there, and like I said, you can see there's new growth on it. So I want to see if I'm going to get another shoot, cleaned up my bachelor buttons, and boy does my daisies look fantastic. The other new plant that I got from visiting Walter's Garden and Creekside is the, oh, what is this? Hold on. And you see, I put the tag down. This is the Penstemon hybrid, Ruby Rock Candy. So I put 2 here. Sit that back down. Had actually ordered some stakes, some pretty ones, so I can label it. Oh, while I'm here, does anybody know what this is? I thought I had a sign on it, but I don't. One thing I know is the bees love it. So if anybody knows what this plant is, please share with me so that I can go ahead and get it labeled. And I pretty much did the same thing on this side. That was the other snapdragon that I cut back, and then also worked some penstemon in this area. And as you can see, this is full sun. So, oh, and that back there is it's either a ruby slipper or a mini moth that I did from propagating the stick last year. So it is doing really good. But um, got my wallflowers cleaned up, the other batch of bachelor buttons, and then also my salvia, and this is one thing that I find. If you don't want your salvia tipping over, keep it trimmed. As you can see, even though I trimmed it, there's still a lot of new buds popping up on that. And that will keep it from tipping over. So the next thing that I'm going to do is, as I stated, we're changing up my mulch. But before I do that, I want to get all of my Helen Von Steens cleaned up. I know you can't see it, but I tend to be a little anal. But I want to get all that stuff cleaned out of there because I do think, it keeps the unfriendly bugs out of here. And then once I get that done, I see got a couple of weeds over there that I don't know what those are, but they've popped up all over the garden. So I'm going to get that done. I'm going to bring the umbrella over here. So hopefully by being under the umbrella, my camera won't go out while I finish weeding and also getting the mulch down. Going to be thinning these guys out because they apparently love where they're at. And they're not too bad. This is the thing. I do believe that when they end up getting so congested, that's the part that ends up having the leaves end up getting like mushy and what have you. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead, finish knocking these guys out, and then start putting the mulch down. And then I will show you guys when I'm all done. Okay, guys, I would be fibbing if I said that I was able to get all that stuff done that I had for my garden over here. That is not the case. Like I said, I work a full-time job that easily, because of my boss, I can be working 60 hours a week. And I try to come out here, after work or on the weekends and get my garden cleaned up, make my videos and what have you. And I still did not get everything done. But let me show you guys what I did get done, because this is the thing. Gardening is time consuming. I love it, but there's not enough time in the day for me to be able to do everything, and I'm learning to do things in stages. It's not part of my nature, but I'm learning. But it's looking good, and I want to just be able to share with you guys how well it looks. And while I strive for perfection, I am not perfect. So come along with me. Let's take a look and see what I've gotten done in this garden. Let me turn the camera around. Okay, so I did get all the plants planted, everything cleaned up. And like I said, we decided to go with a different mulch, partly to, as you can see, I didn't get this side done, but this side, I could see a snake. If it's crawling, I'd be able to see a snake over here more so than I could with the black. But everything is looking really good. And like I said, these are the snapdragons that I cut back. I'm gonna see what new growth gets on there. My salvia is starting to get new blooms. You see the bachelor buttons are doing well. Those are my proven winner banana cream 2s. So this is the second year. Or is this okay, so the first full season that those guys have been in the ground, and then my muley grass back there. And like I said, I try to plant things that during different times of the season I'm going to have color. And look at my Garo. It just looks so nice. And then I totally forgot that back there, those are black-eyed Susies. And I think once those guys flower, that is gonna look so pretty with the Garo. And then of course my tick seeds. My denim and lace. My denim and lace is looking good. I still don't know what this is, so hopefully someone will be able to tell me. But yeah, look at the banana cream. They are just so gorgeous. And I love how it starts off with the yellow, and then as it opens up, it's the white color. And look at all those flower heads that are on there. My other Mystic Sylvia is doing well. And this is a new addition. This is a Peonies. I can't remember the name of it. Like I said, I got labels that I am going to be going around labeling everything so that I know what it is. But look at the ornamental onions. Those guys are starting to open up, and I think that'll look really pretty. But I do know this Peonies is pink, and then I have another one on this side which is white. And then that is just another of the snapdragons. And this is the thing, guys, you know, don't dig them up. Cut them back, because they will come back, at least down here. They are. And then I did, like I said, went in here and I went in here and got the beds clean. The plants cut back so that they could get another flush. Oh, I see weed that is popping up. Okay, this is what I was talking about that's popping up all over the garden. And I don't, oh God, there's a couple of, I mean, it might just be a couple since. These guys here, I have no idea what they are. I mean, they're not real hard to pull up, but they're like everywhere. Oh, that's where my container was. You guys have that habit of having the little containers going and weeding, and then you totally forget where you left it at. All right, so this is looking really, really good. I'm probably going to get the mulch so that I can finish this side of the garden bed. But, you know, like I said, I gotta stop kidding myself about what I am able to get done in a day's time. So, but I am really happy, even though I didn't get everything I wanted done, how it is looking. Well, guys, thank you again for visiting Inspiring Garden Corner. And I so hope that you enjoy seeing how my garden is blossoming, evolving, because I'm always changing my mind. And I so appreciate the support of you guys taking this journey with me. Those of you that, you know, enjoy my content but have not subscribed, it's only 3 steps, you know, for you to go ahead and subscribe to my channel so that you do not miss out on any of the projects, which we got some huge projects that are coming up that I've actually have done some consulting for, that we are going to be able to share with you guys. So thank you again for visiting Inspiring Garden Corner, and I look forward to you checking out my next video.